Hi, this is Stephanie Lotvin of Tellybean Knits, and today I'm going to show you how to place your thumb stitches on hold after completing the bottom of the palm and the thumb gusset for your Boneyard Sweethearts mitten. I have completed rounds 1 through 23 of my chart, and you can see this is my beginning of the round marker, and now I have worked the first 20 stitches in round 24 according to my chart, and I am ready to place the thumb stitches on hold. A little tip before you place those thumb stitches on hold, if I flip this to the back side, on the wrong side of my work, you can see I've actually gone ahead and caught the float before I place those stitches on hold. It's an extremely short float to catch just before placing this placing these thumb stitches on hold, and that is just so there is not a large strand of yarn that stretches across where I'm going to have my backwards loop cast on stitch, just to keep that from snagging on my thumb when I wear these mittens later. So I've actually worked a color 3 stitch, and then I've knit 2 color 2 stitches, and then I caught the float and I've worked one more color 2 stitch before placing my thumb stitches on hold. And you don't have to do this, but I just have found, I've now knit several of these mittens, and I've just found that that is a nice place to catch the float when I am putting my thumb stitches on hold. So what you'll need is a length of yarn approximately 8 to 10 inches long. You don't need a really long piece of scrap yarn for this, but you can go ahead and place that on your tapestry needle. I like to have this long enough that I can put my thumb through the thumb opening and try on my mitten as I'm working it, but also long enough so that the tails of the scrap yarn can tuck down in my mitten and stay out of the way while I'm working just past the thumb opening. So what we're going to do next is we are now at the place in the pattern where we can put the stitches on hold. We're going to insert the tapestry needle from right to left purlwise so that we don't change the orientation of the stitches when they go onto the scrap yarn. So we're just going to slip 15 stitches purlwise onto the tapestry needle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Now I'm going to pull my scrap yarn through and then take my tapestry needle off the scrap yarn. And the next thing I want to do is tie the two ends of my scrap yarn together so that my thumb stitches cannot escape off of that scrap yarn while I am working on the rest of the palm. And then to get that out of the way, I'm just going to tuck the tail of that yarn down into my mitten. All right, now I'm going to close the gap for the thumb to create that thumb opening. And to start that, I'm going to work one cast on stitch using the backwards loop cast on method. To work the backwards loop cast on method, I'm going to hold my yarn out and I'm going to give that a gentle twist to create a loop. I want you to look at this loop. You can see that the tail of my loop is actually behind the front edge of my working yarn, and I'm just going to place that onto my needle. Let's look at the orientation of that one more time now that it's on the needle. So you can see the live yarn is coming around the back side, so it loops around the front, over the needle, and then back behind. And now I'm just going to pull that loop tight. I'm going to gently scoot the stitches on my right hand needle close to the end of my right hand needle. And that's just so that I can help keep that loop nice and short, because you want to be careful not to create a really long strand whenever you bring your two needles together. I'm also going to scoot my yarn on my left hand needle close to the tip of my left hand needle so that I can start knitting that. So I've got my stitches pretty close together, and I'm going to knit according to my chart. So that next stitch is a color 2 stitch, and I'm just going to gently tug that stitch to keep the loop between that cast on stitch nice and tight. And now this was another place that I found as a nice place to catch a float. I'm going to go ahead and catch a float here, and I'm going to work the rest of that round according to my chart. Let me just show you what that looks like. So I have placed my thumb stitches on hold on a piece of scrap yarn. You can see the thumb opening. I've got one cast on stitch right here at the top of that thumb opening, and now I'm just going to continue to work the remainder of round 24 according to my chart. And that is how you place your thumb stitches on hold. I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Thank you so much for watching.